truth is that if you are waiting for the perfect opportunity, you're going to be waiting forever because there is no perfect opportunity. You have to put yourself out there now and create your own opportunities, even if it feels a little scary to you. Remember, the universe rewards boldness, so be bold. Don't be quiet, be loud. Hi there, and welcome back to Sixth Sense CEO. My name is Sam, and I will be your host today and every day of our incredible show. Today, I'm excited to explore a topic that's been on my mind lately, which is manifesting abundance. And you might be wondering, what does this have to do with business? Because this is a really business-focused podcast. We talk a lot about entrepreneurship and growing a business, especially in the early stages when you're just starting out. But truly, manifestation and spirituality have been a big part of my business journey because I've always approached business from a spiritual perspective, always looking at ways to bring more abundance in, both to my business and my personal life. So today we're going to talk about the intersection of manifestation and entrepreneurship, which is incredibly important if you want to grow your business in a way that's really in alignment with your desires. So manifestation, in short, is all about aligning your desire with your energy and becoming an energetic match for your desire so you can bring it into the 3D realm, into your reality. And also, we're going to talk a lot about abundance. When a lot of people think about abundance, they think about financial success, having 6, 7, 8 figures in the bank, having financial stability. And that is a big part of abundance. However, for me, it means so much more than that. For me, abundance is also about happiness, health, joy, having good experiences in my life. It's all about living a life that truly lights you up from the inside out. When I first started my business, I didn't have a lot of resources. I had like $2,000 in my bank account. I still had a full-time job at the time that I was committed to, and I didn't know what I was doing either. I didn't have a finance background. I didn't have a business background, really. I just had some digital marketing knowledge, and I knew I wanted to work for myself. But the most important thing I had was the belief that I could make it happen if I really took the right steps. And that's where manifestation and aligned action come into play throughout my journey. So let's dive in and talk about these topics a little more deeply. So in simple terms, manifestation is all about setting clear intentions for what you want, getting crystal clear on what that desire actually is, and then building a blueprint to make it happen and following it. Actually following through with the aligned actions that are going to bring that manifestation into your reality. A common misconception is that manifestation is all about positive thinking and you just got to have a positive mindset and think positively to make things happen. While that is an important component of it, you also have a lot of dark shit you got to get through sometimes, like limiting beliefs, blocks that you don't necessarily want to overcome, or things that you're a little bit afraid to address. We all have these blocks or limiting beliefs, things like you don't deserve success, or you're not good enough to do X, Y, or Z, or let's get more specific. One big one that I have had throughout my career is I am not pretty enough to succeed on social media. This has been a limiting belief that's been ingrained in my mind for years and years and years, ever since I started my career on social media. And I've had to do a lot of work to move through that because it would manifest in all kinds of ways. Like I would not want to create content because I didn't like the way I looked, or I thought that I wasn't pretty enough to do this or that, or that I thought that I wasn't interesting enough to look at and nobody would want to watch my videos or listen to me. So the first step is to identify what these beliefs are and work through them, whether that's through journaling or meditation or another modality that you prefer. You want to pick the one that you have the least resistance to, because then you're going to actually be more committed to it and you're not going to be forcing yourself into something that's not really in alignment with you, The idea is you need to reprogram your mind to believe that you are worthy of abundance. You are worthy of that desire that you have for your life or your business. The key is to find the modalities that work the best for you and make it a regular practice. I have an alarm on my phone for my journaling time for the same time every day, so I know that when that alarm goes off, it's time to drop everything and do some journaling. That's the only way that I can really stay committed to it, is by blocking it into my schedule. So let's talk more about abundance. When I think of abundance, I think about waking up and being thrilled by the life that I'm waking up to, meaning not hitting snooze a bunch of times, not dreading the workday ahead, not feeling like I hate my life or getting jealous of other people on social media because of how they're living their lives. All of those are red flags that I'm not truly living in alignment I have not attracted all of the abundance into my life that I desire. So whenever I think of true abundance, I think of waking up and seeing the beauty in all the different areas of my life, looking forward to going to the gym, looking forward to getting to work for that day, looking forward to my next trip, looking forward to checking my bank account, looking forward to literally everything in my life. If it was all about money, then why are there so many millionaires who are miserable? There are people out there who have more money than they know what to do with, and they still wake up and they hate their lives. But why? If money truly is the solution, if money can buy happiness, why are there so many rich and miserable people? Because they don't feel rich in their relationships, because they don't feel rich in their health, because they don't feel rich in their hobbies, or, they are chasing money but not necessarily feeling abundant in the other areas of their life. There was a time in my career when my business was making really good money, more money than I ever seen in my life, but I woke up every day and I dreaded it. I wasn't looking forward to anything. I almost resented what I had created. And that's when I realized that true abundance isn't about money. It's about joy, feeling fulfilled by what you're doing, actually loving your life. And that's why I truly believe in the saying, health is wealth. When you feel healthy, when you feel like you're performing at your best, when you wake up in the morning full of energy because you got enough sleep, when you don't have to rely on caffeine to give you this almost like false boost of energy throughout the day, that is abundance. If you have opportunities flowing in and you have loving relationships with your friends, family, your partner, that's true abundance. So don't just focus on the money, because if you end up just chasing the money at the expense of all the other areas of your life, then you're going to end up being a miserable millionaire. And I don't want that. Focus on creating abundance in all areas of your life, and that's how you'll win. You don't have to pick and choose. You could have it all. And that leads me into my next point, which is about a scarcity mindset versus an abundance mindset. It's easy to fall into scarcity thinking sometimes when you say things like, oh, I can't afford that, or that isn't for me because of XYZ, or I'm not enough of this, or I'm too much of that. These thoughts are truly blocks to your abundance, and they keep you in this lack mentality, thinking that you can't have it all for whatever reason your subconscious mind comes up with. The key to manifesting abundance is to shift your mindset from this scarcity, lack, whatever it is, to an abundance mindset. So how do you make this shift? Again, it's all about catching these limiting beliefs and really identifying what those are, and then shifting them to a more empowering belief. I used to self-sabotage a lot because I would have these wins in my business and I kept feeling like I wasn't worthy of them, or I hadn't worked hard enough for it, or I didn't deserve it because I wasn't smart enough or good enough at this or that. And then I would actually end up subconsciously sabotaging myself by missing deadlines, or procrastinating too much, or not giving 100% to those projects, and it's because of this self-sabotaging habit that I had. But in hindsight, if I had worked on my limiting beliefs more to believe that I was truly worthy of these projects and these opportunities that were coming in, then I could have stepped into my power and truly given 110% to these projects. So one of my favorite activities to shift these beliefs is to write down a list of your limiting beliefs in one column. And I think in one of the workbooks that I have released, I actually have an activity on this, so you might want to go check it out. But I'll double check that and leave a link down in the show notes or description here. But anyways, the activity is in one column on a sheet of paper, you write down all of your limiting beliefs, and then you reframe it into a more empowering belief for each one of those limiting beliefs. And then in the second column, you write all the empowering beliefs next to the corresponding limiting beliefs. For example, if you keep saying, oh, I'm not good enough, then you could shift that into saying, I'm learning and improving every day. See how you're kind of saying the same thing, but in two different ways? There are two perspectives on the same situation. So really, there are multiple truths when you think about it. You may believe you're not good enough, but at the same time, you could be learning and improving every day. So at this point, you have to choose which one you're going to believe, right? This is a simple practice, but it's so powerful to shift these beliefs and step into a more empowered version of yourself. So it's important to remember too that thoughts are not enough to truly manifest abundance, because a lot of people get stuck in the mindset work and they do all these affirmations and all these subliminals and all this journaling, but then when it comes to crunch time, they don't take the aligned action they need to take in order to bring that manifestation into their reality. So this is all about taking bold, inspired action. Instead of waiting for things to come to you, you have to put yourself out there and really go after the things that you want. Or, for example, if you are scaling your business, you need to put your services out there. You need to reach out to people, send pitches, post on social media, be loud and let people know what you're offering and how you can help them. That's how you get clients. And a lot of people don't do enough of that, and then they wonder why they're not getting clients. But in reality, they have a lack mindset, or they are not confident in their abilities, and therefore they don't put themselves out there enough. The truth is that if you are waiting for the perfect opportunity, you're going to be waiting forever, because there is no perfect opportunity. You have to put yourself out there now and create your own opportunities, even if it feels a little scary to you. Remember, the universe rewards boldness, so be bold. Don't be quiet, be loud. So let's talk about financial abundance for a second, because that's what a lot of people think of when they think of abundance, and it is a big part of it, because financial wealth and success trickles into other areas of your life. While I don't believe that money can buy happiness 100% of the time, it does alleviate a lot of stress, right? So if you're running a business, or even if you have a job and like a side hustle, or you're finding other ways to make money, you need to identify what those revenue generating activities are. So what activities are actually bringing in the money, and which ones are just kind of a waste of your time? If you're spending your whole day on tasks that are not bringing in revenue, then it's time to reprioritize. If you don't have space for the actions that create abundance, then you need to make that space, because otherwise you're going to stay stuck and you're going to feel like you're on a hamster wheel and not actually going anywhere. And the same thing goes for happiness. What actually makes you happy? If it's spending time with loved ones, going to the beach, studying, watching Netflix, I don't care. Whatever it is that makes you happy, make time for that, and then your life will feel a lot more abundant. You deserve to prioritize the activities that make you happy, okay? So don't feel like you're wasting your time, or you are just not being productive enough. That was a whole belief that I had for a while, was if I wasn't doing things that were quote unquote work, or things that were productive, then I was just wasting my time, and I beat myself up a lot about that. But in reality, any activity that makes your life feel more abundant is well worth the time, okay? So always make time for the things that bring you joy. So another tool you can put in your manifestation toolkit is visualization. And what this is painting a mental picture of your future self that has all the things, that's manifested all the abundance, and is living their best life, okay? So you want to paint a picture of, their day from start to finish. So when they wake up in the morning, what is the first thing they do? Do they journal? Do they cuddle with their partner? Do they make breakfast? Do they meditate? Think about what your future self, who has all the abundance and all the things, is doing. What are they wearing? How are they spending their time? What are they not doing? Are they not spending 2 hours scrolling on TikTok in the morning? Are they not watching the news for 2 hours every morning? Because some things we spend too much time on because they're lowering our vibration. They aren't contributing positive things to our lives. And so we need to be really mindful of how we're spending our time as we're going through this manifesting process. But anyways, coming back to visualization, even though you might think it has to do with seeing, it's actually more of a feeling activity, because you want to tap into the emotions and how it feels to have all the things and to be in that reality where you've already manifested all of your desires into the physical realm. And when you tap into how you're feeling through this visualization activity, your brain starts to believe that it's already happening, and that expedites your manifestation process and closes the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. I used to dream of having a digital nomad lifestyle and working for myself and traveling the world, and I used visualization to tap into what it would feel like to live that life and to see it with my own eyes in my mind's eye. Because this is so powerful, I want to share a visualization exercise with you, and you can get it through the link in the description and the show notes down below. So definitely check that out. I created it myself just for you to share the power of visualization with you. Oh my gosh, I've tried to say that word like 5 times already. But yes, visualization is very powerful, and you can even pair this with your affirmations if you want. So imagine doing the visualization activity while repeating affirmations to yourself, almost like a mantra. You could say things like, I'm worthy of abundance, or you could say, my manifestations are already on the way. But like I said in a previous video, you want to make sure that these affirmations are very personal to you. So when I say this, I mean, if you are just repeating affirmations about whatever, but they don't have any true meaning to you and your situation, your reality, then they're not going to do anything. So you want to write affirmations and tie a specific meaning to that. So for example, if you are struggling with feeling beautiful and you constantly feel ugly, but you want to feel more beautiful and improve your self-love and confidence, what you could do is create an affirmation that says, I have the beauty of a divine goddess. I just made that up on the spot, but you could choose whatever affirmation you want, but you would tie that affirmation to the feeling of how you would feel being a divine goddess, or having that beauty that you desire, or feeling beautiful. It's really more about that than about anything superficial. So just make sure that you tie a feeling back to that affirmation, and that will help you actually manifest those feelings associated with that affirmation. And they are super powerful. I used to think they were like woo-woo and not for me, but once I started repeating them, I actually found them to be incredibly helpful in shifting my mindset and feeling better about myself. Another point that's incredibly important to remember is that manifestation can take time. So you want to be really patient with yourself and be patient with the process and not put a time limit on it. I know some manifestation teachers will say, you should write a check and say, oh, I will have this amount of money in 30 days. And that's all fine and good. But if you don't get the money within 30 days, don't give up on the manifestation process. The universe is always working in your favor. The universe wants you to succeed. So the universe will bring your manifestations into your reality when you're ready for them. It's always working behind the scenes, so you have to trust the process and believe that things are working for you even if you don't see the immediate results. There have been times when I just wanted to give up on everything because I didn't see the results I wanted within the time frame. Like I had a failed launch, or I didn't make a certain amount of money within a certain amount of time, and instead of giving up on it, I decided to trust the process, and later on I realized why I had those delays in the first place. And then I was able to use that as a learning experience to make sure I was taking the correct aligned actions going forward to bring my manifestations into my reality. But just remember this, as long as you stay aligned with your vision for your life and with the desires you have for it, abundance will come your way. But I would like to end today's episode with just a few steps for bringing more financial abundance into your life, because I know sometimes there are financial struggles, there are hardships, there are times when you really need the money more than anything. So I want to share a few quick tips for you. So if you need money like fast, you can get things into motion more quickly and get the results that you desire. I always recommend having multiple streams of income. So if you have a job, for example, maybe get another job, start a little side hustle or a business even. You could do so many different things. You could even sell courses or digital products. Like there's so many different ways you can monetize your knowledge or your skill set or any of the resources that you have available to you. The internet is a vast place, so use it as a tool for your own benefit. Always keep a close eye on your spending and your saving. Open a high yield savings account. I use the Marcus by Goldman Sachs one. That's a good one. Make sure that you're paying your credit cards every month. Try to pay down as much of the balance as possible, if not all of it. It's always better to pay it off in full if you can. And track your expenses as well. See how much you're actually spending in each category, like on food, entertainment. There's so many different areas of your life that you could adjust in order to save more money. For example, when I was in college, I used to spend an astronomical amount of money on food because I didn't cook. I would go out to eat all the time. And yeah, I just spent a lot of money on food. That was my biggest spending category, believe it or not. But now as an adult, as someone who's more mindful of my finances and my spending, I don't spend that much money on food. In fact, I often cook at home or I prep food here at home. I don't go out to eat a lot because I am trying to save more money. So it's important to set a budget and stick to it and adjust things when you need to. But also don't be afraid to invest in yourself, whether it be your education, your appearance, your personal growth, your fitness. These are all important things. Pay for the gym membership and make sure you go, or else it's just gonna go to waste. I recently got my eyebrows laminated and I got a lash lift, and it absolutely changed my life. I'm actually not wearing any makeup right now except for a little bit of mascara and some lip gloss, and this is my new look because the brows and the lashes are the look. Like that, even though it was something I hadn't considered before, I can't believe I slept on that for so long, because now I don't have to spend 30 minutes getting ready in the morning. I can just have my look ready to go, and that's it. That's like a random side note. But if you've been thinking about getting a brow lamination, lash lift, 100% recommend. And really, this is about just investing in things that make you feel good. Because whenever I do that, I always feel like my life is more abundant. Whether it's makeup or clothes or a course to learn a new skill, investing in myself makes me feel good. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be too stingy with your money to where you're missing out on life experiences that could make your life feel more abundant. And that is coming from the woman who's being more mindful about my finances and spending this year. But I also spent last year traveling the world, and it was 100% worth the money that I spent. I would do it all over again. So I am not saying that you should not spend money on things, because what's the point of having it if you can't use it? You know what I mean? All right, so to wrap up today's episode, just remember to align your mindset with your desires. Make sure you take aligned actions toward those desires. If you have a clear blueprint, then those actions will become clear. So don't skimp on the planning process. I am a Capricorn, so I'm all about planning and strategizing and organizing things. So I'm a big proponent of that. Make sure that you are being mindful of your spending and your saving and focusing on revenue generating activities if you're short on money. And always be patient. Even if you don't see immediate results, they're coming, I promise. Well, on a personal note, I have some trips coming up. Next week, I'm actually going to a music festival called Lost Lands in Ohio, and I'm excited for that. It's a dubstep music festival. I first got into electronic music listening to dubstep, so I'm kind of returning to my roots in a way, but we're really going because my boyfriend is a big dubstep fan, and he is so excited. He's been looking forward to this for like a year, because I think he and his brother last year decided that they were gonna go, and now it's finally almost here. So we're gonna fly out to Ohio from California next week for that event. It'll be fun because we're staying in this cabin that has a hot tub, and we're gonna have champagne in the hot tub, I'm sure. So that's gonna be a whole vibe for me. And then we're gonna go to the festival, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Already told my clients I'm not working the Monday after the festival because I will be in bed all day that day. And then after that, I will actually be heading to Miami because my cousin's bat mitzvah is happening. So I'm going to go be there for that and visit with family. I always love making plans with my family. And actually, my dad is coming out to visit me in California in October. So I'm also planning for that. And then actually, I am also planning a trip to Costa Rica, which is tentative dates, but I'm looking at it because I miss being a digital nomad. I'm excited to get my international travel going again. So most likely that will happen in October or November. And then I may also be planning a trip to Peru. So I just have a lot going on right now. But this is how things go with me and my travel plans. I don't have like obligations in person. All of my work is remote. So I just kind of plan it sort of in advance, but not really. And then I just fly out, and that's that. So I will get myself together and finalize those plans soon. I want to share more life updates so y'all can get to know me better, but I figure it's better to put it at the end of the episode because maybe some people don't care and just want to get the value of the episode, which is totally fair. So I will be sharing more about that probably at the end of each episode. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you loved today's episode. And if you did, make sure to share it to your Instagram story and tag me and let me know what your favorite part of the episode was. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, and I'm always down to chat in the DMs, so DM me on Instagram if you have any questions or comments. And finally, I gotta do this as well. Make sure that you haven't rated or reviewed the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You go ahead and do that because that would help me tremendously. And thumbs up the video on YouTube if you're watching on here. I think that's all the CTAs I have. Oh, I have one more actually, sorry. So make sure also that you download the visualization activity that I mentioned. I have that link down in the show notes and YouTube description so you can check that out. And that is it, my dear. So I hope you loved today's episode. I will talk to you very soon and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.